They have exercised the demons. The Toronto Maple Leafs are going to the second round of the playoffs for the first time since I was in high school. The last time the Toronto Maple Leafs won a playoff round, I could not legally drink a beer. I turned 38 in 2 months, so it is a fun day. I'm Steve Dangle, I am not, so I'm not going to go on about that, but what a night. And we had a bet on the Maple Leafs, which is great because we went 2-1 on the squeeze. We had the Toronto Maple Leafs money line, check. New York Rangers we had on the money line as well. That cashed. Lost on the Blue Jays bet, but hard to be mad about a 1-0 win in extra innings. They walked that off. So as a Toronto fan, the Jays won, TFC won, and the Toronto Maple Leafs won as well. So really hard to complain about that. It was a great day. If you follow me on Twitter as well, we had an Austin Matthews shot prop and Leafs win parlay for plus 150. That hit. And then I had a really nice plus 600 same game parlay that I posted. Had the Denver Nuggets on the money line, Devin Booker under 30 points but over 5.5 assists, and Jamal Murray to score 20. That was a great game. It's hard to think that the NBA is already in the second round. And if you're a sports fan, man, you've got a game 7 in the NBA as well as a game 1, and you've got 2 game 7s in the NHL. So it's going to be a fun day. But man, being able to watch that last night with my wife, we both, jubilation watching that puck go in the net. And who better to score that goal than Toronto boy John Tavares? So very exciting. Excuse me. And now we wait to see who will play them in the second round. It will be either Florida or Boston. We do have a bet on that. But I'm going to start off the day in the NBA. We're going to start with the Heat and the Knicks. Excuse me, something in my throat. Too much screaming last night. Now, I don't know who's going to win this game. This might be my favorite game of the second round. The Knicks and the Heat, two unlikely teams playing in the second round. Of course, the Heat beat the Bucks. The Knicks beat the Cavs. In the regular season, very evenly matched. Miami 49-40, Knicks 51-36. So, well, that includes the playoffs as well. So that is most recent. Now, the Heat have not been great on the road. They've been 19-25. The Knicks have been good at home. I do lean towards the Knicks in this game, but I like the over more so. The number is set super low, 206.5 at Betway. Now, during the regular season, Miami was 46-41 to the over. Knicks were also 44-42 to the over. And 206 is incredibly low. So you look at the series that Miami had with Milwaukee, they went over in every single game. They went over it by, and listen to these, I'm not going to read the totals too, but in game 1, they went over by 26. They went over by 44. They went over by 4. They went over by 15.5, and they went over by 35. That's like way over. And the lowest total was set at 216. We're at 206.5. Now, I know the Knicks played more under games against Cleveland. Cleveland, number 1 defensively in the league. So they went under. They were under every single game. However, let's dig into the totals. Under 216, 213, 212, 203, and 203. Much higher than the 206.5 that we're getting today. And I also think game 1s are a little bit, they're trying to figure each other out. There's going to be a little bit more scoring. Jimmy Butler's been absolutely on fire. And the Knicks have been scoring really well as well. So I look for this game, just as they sort of figure things out, to go over the total of 206.5. I think the Knicks are going to be able to score more on Miami than they were able to do on Cleveland. And I think that Miami, we saw the numbers that were put up against them and for them against a great defensive team in Milwaukee. They've got the scoring power with Jimmy Butler. So I'm going to take this to start off at over 206.5 for minus 115 at Betway. My other bet in the NBA comes down to game 7. Not much analysis here, because if you want to look at the numbers, well, Sacramento won the first 2 games at home. Then they lost 2 games at Golden State. But then they lost at home. But then they won on the road. So what's going to happen here? I don't know. Golden State been pretty terrible on the road during the season, 12-32. Sacramento's been good at home at 25-19. What am I betting on? Playoff experience and the best player on the floor, which is Steph Curry. Now, De'Aaron Fox has been incredible for Sacramento. How healthy is he? I'm not sure. They're just coming off a 118-99 win, Sacramento in Golden State, but it's a Game 7. It's the defending champions of the world. It's the dynasty of the 2010s, 2020s, whatever you want to call it. And it's one of the best players in the history of the game in Steph Curry. I'm not going to bet against LeBron James. I'm not going to bet against Steph Curry. Not yet, anyway. So there's not much to break down on this aside from I'm taking the best team. I'm taking the team with the track record. And I'm taking one of the best coaches. Although, Sacramento's got a hell of a coach in Mike Brown as well. We'll see what happens. But I like the Golden State Warriors just on the money line. It's plus 105 because of their inability to win on the road during the season, but I'm getting the defending champions against a team that hasn't made the playoffs in 15 years, plus money on the money line, plus 105 at DraftKings, Golden State Warriors. Last bet of the day is another under. We're going to the NHL. We've got the Florida Panthers and the Boston Bruins. The winner of this game will meet the Toronto Maple Leafs in the second round, just in case you didn't know that already. Florida 45-35 in the season. Boston, obviously best team in history of the NHL during the regular season, 68-14. I'm taking the under 6.5 here, even though they've gone over in all but one game during this series. So we just saw 12 goals. Then we saw 7. That was in overtime. We've seen 8. We've seen 6. That was the one under. We've seen 9. And how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and then we saw, game 1 was also an under. There were 4 goals. It's Game 7. These teams Allmark might be hurt. You might see Swayman in that. I'm not sure. I don't think they have announced it yet. So far, it says it's probably Bobrovsky and probably Allmark. So you might lean towards the over. But it's Game 7, man. Boston Bruins might not give up a goal. And are they going to score 6 or 7? I don't think so. I think this has all the makings of a Game 1, a 3-1, maybe 3-2, something, and maybe we get into overtime 1-1. So I know that the trend more suggests over lately, especially the last 3 games where we've seen 12, 7, and 8. But this is Game 7. This is going to be a hard-fought battle. It's rare you see Game 7 blow up and be 5-4 or something like that. So it might happen. I don't expect it to happen here, especially with the Boston Bruins, with their goaltending, with their defensive prowess. I think they really shut it down. I don't think the Panthers win this game, might have to win it 1-0. And I don't know if that's going to happen, but I don't see Boston giving up more than 1 goal in this game. So I'm taking the under 6.5. That's minus 115 at Bet365. It's going to be a great day of sports. It's a great day to have a great day. I'm taking the Miami Heat and the New York Knicks to go over 206.5. That's minus 115 at Betway. I'm taking the Golden State Warriors on the money line, plus 105 at DraftKings. And I'm taking the Panthers and the Bruins to go under 6.5 for minus 115 at Bet365. As always, drop a comment if you're fading or following. You can follow me on Twitter at Tyler Connie for picks and props throughout the day, TikTok and Instagram for just the picks portions of these videos, and audio is on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Go Leafs, go. Let's talk sports.